Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends, and welcome to the new patch, the anniversary, 7th anniversary update here that has gone live today. We're going to cover some of the things that have shown up, things that I probably haven't brought up here on the channel because I don't really get early access to these kinds of things, but I want to discuss it and see what you guys think. Now, one thing that I have been waiting for that appears to not be happening yet, as of recording, anyways, is I got my free to play PRISM shard here from the Soul Chase tournament, and I've been waiting for a PRISM shard summon pool to be showing up, and it still hasn't. There is like what, less than 21, there's 21 hours left in that Soul Chase tournament, and some people might want to know what it actually is before they decide to maybe pull on it at the last minute. So a little bit curious. Maybe that's going to show up later on, like after I've already finished recording this video. But I want to talk about some of the Argonite champions because they are in game now, and technically you could actually summon them. I was hoping maybe that the Prism Shard was perhaps an Argonite / Assassin's Creed Prism Shard pull, maybe something like that. But we'll see. Anyways, before we get started with the rest of the video, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing a new raid account or an alt account, now is the best time to do so. You can start with Thol and Falbeard absolutely free, and also get Stagnite, Rector Drath, and Farrakhan the Fat absolutely free as well at accounts level 10, 20, and 30. And don't forget that you can get the Void Legendary Support Champion Tahanarak absolutely free, as well. Use the promo code Desert Queen in the first 48 hours of a brand new account. Okay, so let's get started with, I guess, some of the other things that have also been included. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that there was that new Dark Elf legendary. What was her name? Not Nil, of course not Nildua. Wasn't there a... who is this? Oh, never mind. I guess it's always been in the game. I swear, I don't remember who the name of the character was. I thought there was a... was I not... was I mistaken? Was it not a Dark Elf? Anyways, I can't seem to find that character, but maybe that's not yet. Anyways, Argonites. So we have, of course, we have not Hackathon. Are they not actually in there? Have they not included? They're missing some characters. They didn't add everyone because the fusion also isn't added to the list. So there's only actually 9 Argonites currently listed. So it seems that maybe some characters have been updated and some have not. But we do have the 3 rares, 2 epics, and 3 other legendaries. Everyone's been talking about Hackathon. Especially people who have been testing on the main, Plarium content creator, Storm Herald Hackathon. Apparently, he is insane. But I want to take a look at some of the kits of the other characters, including the rare. I thought this guy was going to be like an epic or something like that because of the aesthetic, but he looks really cool for just a rare Acolyte of the Slither. Now, everyone's saying that he's basically like the Argonite's equivalent to Apothecary, right? Because he does similar stuff, except for he has an extra skill here. So, and has a decent speed aura in dungeons as well. So places a 30% speed buff for 2 turns, fills turn meter. This is identical to Apothecary. This is an AoE with a decreased speed, though, of only 15%, but it goes up to 75% and does some healing. So it does a debuff and a heal. And then we have a 3-hit. So this is basically Apothecary, which would be great for Fire Knight for noobs. Each hit has a 35% chance of decreasing turn meter by 5%, up to, I guess, 60%. And if they have decreased speed debuff, then it will reduce more turn meter. So not bad for a standard rare. Apothecary is actually like a top 10 rare or so, in my opinion. So this character for Argonites is pretty good. Crimson Pegasus, not Pegasus, Pegasus. Anyways, has a passive. Whenever this champion is attacked, has a 5% chance of decreasing all incoming damage. So this is 25%. That's not terrible, to be honest. It does have a cooldown of 1, so it can only happen once, actually, for bosses, maybe. A taunt buff. That's interesting for a rare. On a cooldown of 4 with books. Place a shield buff on all. So this is going to be really nice for dealing with Scarab King, right? Having a rare that can put an all allies shield buff. Unfortunately, it is on a cooldown of 4, but still nonetheless a good budget option. And a stun debuff. He's HP based. It's okay. Other than that, I would say that's what his value would be. And of course, all these characters can be summoned right now, actually, if there was a reason to do it. Blade Rider is AoE a 3 on a cooldown of 3. Attack all enemies. 25% increase attack. Crit damage, fine. Critical hit. Fills turn meter, fine. Anything else? We got a stun. Repeat the attack against all other enemies if this champion's under increased attack, so we'll go from that to this, right? It should do an AoE. It could stun them, but it's 50%, up to 75%. Not bad for a rare, actually. 2-hit, ignores a critical hit, it will ignore defense. Not the best, but some stunning, which isn't terrible. Let's take a look at the epics that are out so far. So we have Lion's Guard Galatea. We have a passive. Before attacking, has a 25% chance of removing any decreased attack debuffs on this champion and mirror it to increase attack. That's cool. Also has a 25, same thing for defense. So yeah, 50% actually with books. That's pretty neat. AoE, on a cooldown of 4, ignores target's defense if their spirit affinity. Will ignore 25% if they're... okay, interesting. This could be a really good epic nuker because it's AoE as well. Activates Apex Slice on a random enemy whose HP was decreased by more than 50%. Okay. This kind of reminds me a little bit like Zargala with a twist. It doesn't have a defense down, but still some ignored defense, which is pretty good. Apex Slice, so places a block revive debuff if the target's killed. I like this skill, actually, because if it does not kill them, but does more than 50%, it'll go in on the A2 to then potentially kill them and then block the revive. So 30% turn meter as well. Pretty good attack, I think. There's no utility necessarily, but could be useful in a lot of places. Honestly, could be decent in Ice Golem potentially for the minions as well. An A1, so it's just pure damage nuker character. Attack one enemy, extra hit if they're under decreased defense. So you need someone else to apply that. So you're gonna need that there. So Lion's Guard Galatea, okay. Let's take a look at some of these epic characters. Deep Hook Nagus, right? Nagus, like Naga, which I thought was like a more of a snake thing. So possibly look cool appeal with the water going on here. Let's start with the passive. Whenever an enemy attacks this champion, heals all allies by 10% of their max HP and 10% turn meter fill. Okay, that's pretty neat. On a cooldown of 1 with books, which is like every turn, essentially. Whenever an enemy attacks this champion, also place a 30% increased speed buff. Oh, wow. This is really good. Like, basically, if you run, say, even a clan boss or anything like that, right, you're, like, always going to have a speed buff because they always do AoE attacks. Dungeons, things like that, and a 10% heal and turn meter every turn, which is pretty nice. A3, Sea Snake Surge. All enemies AoE attack on cooldown of 4. We got Weaken and we got Stun. Okay, defense base, so that's cool too. AoE full cleanse on her and one other ally. 50% ally protection, strengthen, and increase target ally. Not as good. This one's a little bit weaker, in my opinion, because it's not team-wide. But, of course, she is an epic. Yeah, I don't know about that one. It's a bit weaker. This one's okay. Passive's pretty good. Maybe it should be too broken if this was party-wide. And then a single target attack with some provoke. Up to 60% on the provoke. They had me. They had me at these two. And then the A2 kind of feels like it falls flat a bit because it's only one other character. That's just my thoughts anyways. The ally protection would be a lot better if it was party-wide. Okay, that's Deep Hook Nagus. Now let's talk about Glorious Palace. Okay, so support champion here. Passive. Whenever an ally receives a debuff, place a shield buff on that ally. 20% of their max HP. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% at the end of her turn. That's pretty nice. Turn meter fill is always really good. We have an AoE revive. Okay, so this character is going to be the support champion that you're going to want to have for Argonite's faction related stuff. And even then, we have a 4-turn cooldown increased speed buff AoE on the team and strengthen as well. So some pretty nice buffs here for Glorious Palace. We also have an AoE cleanse and a block debuffs for 2 turns and fervor. I don't know what that does actually. That's something that I'm going to have to look. Is that new or is it just very rare? I haven't seen this so far, so I actually need to look this up. Fervor. Wherever the heck it is on the list. Taunt, Eclipse, Intercept. She's Fervor. Increase damage inflicted by 10% and reduces damage received by 10%. Okay, that's pretty nice. Unique as well. I have not seen that on anyone else. Cooldown of 3. This is pretty cool. Very good champion. Attacks one enemy with one random ally from the Argonites faction. Ally joining the attack will use their default skill and then heal 10% of her max HP. So yes, you want to add some more HP, some survivability. Probably a protection set would be really good for her. Very solid support legendary champion there. And yes, she's probably also available in the shards. Keberon the Unflamed. Underflame. Active effect. Activates a delay effect on this champion whenever they receive a fatal hit. Okay, so that's on a there's a relic with that actually. Passive heals by 20% of their max HP whenever an HP burn debuff is active. This could be really cool for PvE. Whenever an HP burn debuff on an enemy expires, place a true fear on that enemy. Okay. AoE before attacking, increase accuracy buff. Has a 75% chance, 100% with books, of course. Placing HP burn for 2 turns. Fill this champion's turn meter by 20% for each debuff placed. Could be a really solid Hydra champion, honestly. Some pretty interesting things here, I think. Activate one enemy, and of course Spider if you really need it for a newer player. One enemy for 2 times before attacking. Place a Death Brand debuff on the target for 2 turns. That's something I'm not aware of either. We'll ignore unkillable and shield buffs and 25% of the target's defense. Activate the champion's Pyranny Power skill. Is that this one? Okay, wow. If the target is killed, if the target survives, fill the champion turn meter by 50% instead. Okay, 2 hits, decreased defense, 50% chance of attacking with the skill whenever an enemy whoa, okay. So this could still be really powerful nuker here for Hydra, honestly, with HP burn and increased accuracy. Some nice stuff going on here. Obviously, you're not you could get the targets killed if you one shot or kill a Hydra head with this. I would activate the Pyranny Power. So I mean, still could be a very, very cool character to have. So yeah, Keberon the Underflame, and then everyone's been talking about this guy here, the Storm Herald Hecaton, because good God, apparently he's amazing. 24% in all battles. That's really nice. Storm Call, some enemy max HP stuff. I'll be honest, this is pretty lengthy, but apparently he is just really good against bosses and in PvE. And I heard he's also good in PvP as well. His buffs are good, crit rate, block damage, and counter attack on a target ally for 2 turns, but then the fill turn meter for all allies by 25% as a defensive character. Now, I'll admit, I don't actually like this that much because they could have watered it down a little bit and then gave it on the team. It doesn't have a provoke here, right? Oh, and enfeeble too. Okay, provoke for 1 turn, 25% chance that these debuffs cannot be resisted. If each enemy has a number of buffs equal to or less than this champion's, attack all enemies instead. So AoE provoke, potentially. This attack is always critical and has a 75% chance of placing. Okay, wow. Interesting. Pretty cool. And his defense, I love defense-based champions, honestly. They can hit really, really hard. I have the Storm. Placed 60% increased defense buff for 2 turns and 1 Storm Call stack on all allies. This is the big thing that people are talking about, I guess. Storm Call increases your damage overall by 5% per stack, and then like when you get to 5, you can potentially stun people. That's not really that important, I guess, if you're fighting bosses, but the PvE damage potential, this is pretty high, and also will ignore Stone Skin buffs, right? So PvP, this is a big character for PvP as well. So yes, Storm Herald Hecaton. Very, very cool. And of course, we have Cassandra, which we don't really need to talk about in today's video. Now, I guess they're going to be adding in more tomorrow as well. I was wondering, like, it's been 12 minutes now since I recorded the video, 13 minutes actually, in fact. And there is not anything updated on the Bastion, right? So we will be getting the Fusion tomorrow. Maybe it's going to update later on today here in game. And then tomorrow we're going to have the Fusion calendar, which we'll get to talk about in terms of the events that are coming. There very well could be a champion chase starting on Friday. We don't know if we're starting with a champion chase or a summon rush, so save your stuff. It'll be important to know, and when that information comes out here, I will be talking about it on the channel as well. Some other things, there's this Raid and Review 2025. Some of the things are kind of interesting, actually, but if you want to learn more about everything people did in 2025, go click on that link. Otherwise, yes, what do you guys think about the Argonites? I'm really hoping that there's some sort of boosted summoning for this event, even though there's not so many. I think there's supposed to be a few more. Obviously, the Fusion's not in here either. There should be a few more that are coming in. I thought there was like 12, somewhere between 12 and 15 Argonites champions. Maybe I was wrong. But anyways, there's a few that I really like Slither for rare even. and Deep Hook Nagus is not bad there, and Palace, Glorious Palace, very, very, very cool as well. So that would be something that I would be targeting in a potential progressive summon event. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. Now, before we go, I do want to remind people that if you haven't started playing Raid yet, now is the best time to start an alt account, right? Get Full and Foulbeard absolutely free alongside Stag Knight, Rector Drath, and my favorite, Farrakhan the Fat, amazing champions here. And don't forget that you can get the Void Legendary Support Champion to Hanorak, and all you got to do is plug in the promo code Desert Queen in the first 48 hours of a brand new account. That's it for me, everyone, and I'll see you all on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.